Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. I'm doing this at a different time of day than I usually do because it's all jingle bells at the moment in my world. Practices, actual services going on at the moment. So I'm away, I'm doing things at weird times, all because of the kids and the singing. And so I have a snoring Jack Russell with me as well as I'm doing this. So if you hear weird snoring and the occasional horrible hacking cough, I'm afraid that's the very ancient Jack Russell who spends his day here with us before he goes home to his mum. I have the Deviant Moon on the tarot today because we're looking at two very influential men in the Parkles world who have, well, in the one case definitely come unstuck for some unsavory reasons, and in the other case might be on the way to coming unstuck reputation wise. The first one is of course Justin Welby, who until very recently was the most senior member of the Church of England, the Archbishop of Canterbury. He had to fall on his sword because he was covering up or wasn't responding to egregious cases of SA in the church. And so he has resigned in disgrace. And at the time, the Daily Mail took some delight in writing a rather scathing article about how he had fallen under the spell of Harry and Meghan, which I ignored. It didn't seem particularly interesting, apart from one little paragraph about Archie's christening. And it was claimed that Justin Welby surprised everyone by disappearing from the General Synod in York in 2019. July of 2019, nobody knew why at the time, but it was to attend that very secret christening of baby Archie at Windsor. When this was all going on, there was a lot of speculation that that whole thing was fake. There was lots of claims of photoshopping of those christening photos, that Justin Welby was somehow inhumanly in two places at the same time. Lot of head scratching, lot of pondering, a lot of weirdness. Now it turns out, allegedly, and when you know I say allegedly, we're talking about Neil Sean. Neil Sean claims that Justin Welby is being offered a book deal. He is not under any form of NDA, and he's contemplating writing it. And apparently, allegedly, the Parkles are all a tremble at the things that Justin Welby might know and might just reveal. We have already had the secret wedding 3 days before that he had to come out and denounce, or deny is a better word. So let's see. I've got, as I said to you, the Deviant Moon Tarot on the tarot table. We're going to look at past and present, mutually, how he felt about the Parkles in the past, particularly Meghan, and how he might feel about them now. We're going to look at the Parkles in turn, how they felt about him in the past. He was a great supporter of them. He was very pro, he was quite loud in his support of them at the time. Whether their feelings might have changed round about now. We're going to look at what he might know around the birth of baby Archie, that almost miraculous birth, you could say. And the christening, what he might know about the christening that we might need to know. Just interested to see what the cards show us. Book, is there really a book? Are the Parkles worried about any potential book? And then we're going to ask if he might just spill some interesting beans. It would deflect from his own woes, of course. And maybe certain people in the establishment might be quite pleased if he did. We're not looking at that angle yet, but it just seems that it's interesting that this should all happen now, while things are looking quite negative for the Parkles already. So one more shuffle, and let's remind you as I do this that we are in the world of tarot for fun and entertainment, and this is all my opinion and this is all speculation. This is very much an allegedly reading, And I just read energy here, archetypal energy. There's that arch word, who might have become their arch-nemesis. Archetypal energy, of course, because we're dealing with the royal family. Archetypal family, isn't it? And disclaimer in the box below, of course, do your own research, form your own opinions, as I know that you do. So here we go. Deviate Moon Tarot. Jack Russell has woken up and is staring intently at me as I'm doing this. Rather unnerving, have to say. See now, Jack Russell staring at you. And there he is, the Emperor. There's our man. He was the big cheese, and now isn't. But there it is. The Emperor is the one who's in control, in command. It's an interesting energy for someone who's in charge of a spiritual organization. Should really be the Hierophant, not the Emperor. But of course, Justin Welby had a rather strange career path coming from, I think, the oil industry, or one of those, finding faith late in life, and then surging right to the top of the pile, even you could say up that greasy pole. And there is the Emperor. So he's the boss, he's the one in command, and well, not anymore. But the thing about the Emperor, even when it's upright, is the Emperor has quite a large ego. You have to have a large ego to want to be in charge of, well, the entire empire, don't you? So there's our card. I don't know what sign he is. Of course, it's an Aries card, the Emperor, traditionally. I have no idea what sign he is. I should have looked. Never mind. On we go. What are we dealing with today? We are dealing with, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And that's interesting because it's the card of work. Hard work, mastery, you know, shoulder to the wheel kind of a thing, toiling away. And toiling away to amass a pile of money. Traditionally with the Eight of Pentacles, now it's in reverse, and so all of that effort has been wasted really, and what should have been an illustrious career is now lying in ruins with that Eight of Pentacles. Interestingly, you could say that about both sides of this reading, the former Archbishop on the one side and the Parkles on the other. And it's interesting that it's a money card, because of course if there's going to be a book, it's going to be about money, really, isn't it? The need to write it would be, I don't think he's going to be able to right any particular wrongs in the book, but it might be a useful cash injection. Funny that that card should show up as the heart of the issue we are dealing with today. It's all about the money. It's all about, shall we use that grifting word? It's my grifting card, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and there might have been some quite odd circumstances going on behind the scenes, which is, shall we say, allegedly, which is the reason why I'm doing this tarot reading. So, Justin Welby first, his past view of Harry and Meghan, particularly Meghan, was he really, as the Daily Mail said, under their spell? And we've got we've got the Nine of Cups. Look, and it's the genie that's come out of the bottle here, or the lantern, whatever the genies come out of. More a lantern than a bottle. Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. They were everything a man could dream of, a man in this position of emperor. They represented the embodiment of his worldview. And of course, he's very woke. He has been quite controversial as head of the church. He's made some very controversial decisions recently, money decisions, in fact. I'm not going to bang on about that. It's not my business, not my church. So, but Nine of Cups is interesting because he saw potential in them for representing everything that he felt the church needed to represent. Very interesting card. How does he feel about them now? Has his opinion of them changed, or is he still very pro? And we have, and I have to count how many we've got here. We have, it's the 10, isn't it? Yeah, it's 5 and 5. It's 10 of Pentacles. But guess what? It's in reverse. It does tell me 10 up there, but it's hard to see the 10. It's in reverse. Wow. I've got that cold hand around my heart, and I read intuitively, I read in energy, as I always say, and I do actually mean that sincerely. 10 of Pentacles is making that hand squeeze my heart, that cold hand. That's the royal family card. It's the establishment card. It's legacy. It's inheritance. It's the not the body politic. It's the worthies. It's your legacy, and it's in reverse. They are working mightily to undermine the establishment, the institution, the monarchy as an institution, and those sort of upper echelons of society. And Britain, of course, very much based on strata. So one of the defining characteristics of that particular society. Social strata, even now, and it's in reverse. He sees it now. He sees their efforts to undermine, and he sees how they have, in fact, damaged the monarchy, damaged society, damaged the collective, and how it adheres. They've damaged that. He, of course, himself has done some damage, shall we say, my opinion. And apart from that, they really are out. They are out of that world in a way that they can never come back to. That 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Out financially, and finances seem to be a big deal in this reading. They're out financially. They are out as far as the history books are concerned. They're going to be written out of history at some level. It's a funny thing for me to say, but it's something that he kind of sees. And I would say that the real thought, if he thinks about them, and he probably does, because I think they were quite defining in his career. If he thinks about them, he thinks, I chose the wrong side in history. It's going to go down as the Daily Mail said, he was under their spell, and they are on the wrong side of history. That's my opinion, of course. How do the Parkles feel about him? How did they feel about him around the time of the wedding and the christening and all of that? And interestingly, I get a negative view of him. 7 of Cups, but it's in reverse. 7 of Cups is all about the illusion, the possibilities, the potentials in a situation. Something way back there went wrong. And it went wrong in the past. It didn't go wrong now. It went wrong in the past. And I think it went that the energy of that card is referring to the Oprah interview and the secret wedding. And he was forced to come out and deny it, because if he didn't deny it, then he was, what's the word, an accomplice to a crime, basically, or a participant in a crime. So he had to come out and prick that balloon and say, no, 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 that's not what happened. She must have misunderstood the wedding rehearsals, as if you can misunderstand wedding rehearsals. It's mind-boggling. But he came out and he pricked that balloon, had to. And so that is showing up in this reading. What does she think, particularly now? I don't think Harry really thinks. That's my personal opinion of him. So this is more about Meghan and Justin Welby than anything else. And she does have some ability, some surprising ability to get men in thrall to her, despite, anyway, let's not be personal about her appearance. What does she think now? What did they think now of Justin Welby? Now he's in disgrace. We've got the 9 of Wands, and it's the ring fencing and boundaries card. I want distance between myself and him. They're definitely concerned about this. They definitely don't want to be associated with him, and in particular her, and some of the adjacent Twitter accounts and whatever have been quite strident in denouncing the Daily Mail and this view that somehow there was a spell and he was under the spell. So 9 of Wands is distance, boundaries, don't mention us in the same breath, of separating. Definitely feeling that this is another blow, because the 9 of Wands is all about blows, that somebody has just been hit and hit and hit with blow after blow after blow, and which is going to be the one that makes him just literally fall down and bring that wall down around them. That means then it's open season and everyone can pile on. And they're at that moment with the Nine of Wands where it's almost at the end of their ability to withstand blows. So that's the mutual feeling. How about the mysteries around baby Archie? Shall we say those alleged mysteries? First of all, the birth. What does Justin Welby know about Archie's provenance or birth that might show up in a book, or he might be quite tempted to talk about? What does he know? I've got the Queen of Pentacles. It's a very positive card on the face of it. It's the late Queen of Pentacles. It's the wife. It's dutiful. It's holding that pentacle, but the way it's holding that pentacle is interesting to me. There's a little children around here with the Queen of Pentacles, and she's holding a pentacle. And this is just my personal opinion, but there is something in this card. The way there are these little children around this metallic skirt of this Queen of Pentacles, and the way that pentacle has been held a bit like a bump. That there is something in here, and a moon. Moon's always shady in tarot. There is something going on here about what is presented to us as a very earthy, grounded, fecund woman, and what is reality. And the snoring is getting quite loud. That's, I think, enough. There is just a hint in there for me as an energy reader of what you see with that Queen of Pentacles. That Queen of Pentacles might be someone else. Someone who might, because she's holding that pentacle, someone who is maybe receiving some form of payment to produce all these little children around down there. That is my opinion and my interpretation of that tarot card. And it's a very strange interpretation of a tarot card. I wouldn't normally say that about the Queen of Pentacles, but I'm in a dark tarot, the Deviant Moon tarot, and there is just something quite weird about the energy of a card that on the surface would seem quite innocent. My opinion as a tarot reader. What about Archie's christening? That photo, that all the proportions were wrong and the wrong things were reflected in the mirror, and people had magically changed outfits, that they were seen driving into Windsor Inn, or were wearing same outfits from other photos, or looked like they were in their gardening clothes even, and had magically appeared in that photo. What about that? Not to mention the fact that Justin Welby, according to some accounts, was in 2 places at once on that particular day, and he was the Archbishop, but I don't think even he had those kinds of superpowers, especially over space and time. What can the cards tell us? And we have the Death card shown up here. Quite interesting that death should show up in this tarot. And snore, snore, snore. I feel quite disturbed by that. Because it tells me that this could be the end of something. If this truth really comes out. Death is radical ending, just horrifying transformation. It's interesting, in the Deviant Moon we've got a pregnancy, we've got a pregnant horse trampling over the little beseeching creature there. Normally the rider on the horse, on the pale horse, tramples the monarchy underfoot, the king and the queen and the tinies. And we say tinies because of the littles, that little as far as Meghan is concerned. But there is something, it could really reflect very badly on the monarchy. I'm reading into that death card. It could spell some sort of death knell for people in the monarchy. I don't think we're talking William and Catherine here. We might be talking about the Scorpio King, because the death card is the Scorpio King. That it could reflect very badly on him. Of course, the others who were there, the late Queen was not in that photo, nor was Prince Philip. They carefully avoided all of that. She missed the day. And this would land on Charles's head. And it would be incredibly negative for him. He might be the next emperor to fall as a result of this. Just saying. It's that serious. It's such a serious card. Book. Is there a book? Oh, wow. We're getting serious now in this reading. We're getting very serious. When the Tower shows up, you know you're in very big trouble. And the trouble is, again, it's the royal family. Because in the lightning strikes, the Tower, and downfalls, usually two characters, male and female, a king and a queen, they fall from the Tower, plunge down to the ground, and land with a terrible thud. It's a calamity, but there is an enlightenment moment in the Tower. When that lightning strikes, it is enlightening. And so it's telling me that he might take the opportunity of his disaster, of his fall from grace, his own fall from grace, might just see it as an opportunity to shed some light on circumstances that have so far been quite murky and covered up. Of course, he covered up a whole lot, but now maybe this is the moment to reveal things. So are the Parkles worried about what's going on? That is a worrying card if you are the Parkles. By some mischance watching this tarot reading, yeah, it could be all over for them. Because we've come now to the 10 of Wands that I was kind of feeling in that 9 of Wands. I was saying it's penultimate energy. We're heading to the end here. And the end is the 10 of Wands, and then it's in reverse. That is when you just can't anymore. And the burdens have got so heavy that they have clattered to the ground, and you yourself have given up. You can't anymore. It's just game over. So, last card. Are there going to be big reveals from Justin Welby? It's potential in there, absolutely yes. And as I said, we've got to the serious end of the tarot reading. Judgment card, absolutely. It's the revelations card. We've got revelations coming in that Tower. And here comes judgment, which is revelation. The trumpet sounds, you rise from the dead, and you are judged. And you are judged for what you have done. And a whole lot of people might be judged for what they have done in any book that comes from him, or anything that he decides to say, interviews, anything. It's a card of being judged. It's a card of waking up. It's a card of seeing through the veil to see beyond. It's a card also of forgiveness. And this might be his desire to atone for what he has done or not done. In the mea culpaing that might be going on here, he might just decide to take a whole lot down with him. It's possible in the energy of this reading. There's some really quite startling and disturbing cards in this reading. Never mind that we're using the Deviant Moon Tarot. Surprise for the Parkles. I don't think they saw that this would be the thing that would bring them down, expose everything, the weirdness of the Queen of Pentacles, that death card. And there's trouble in here, that's for sure. My opinion, of course. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.